To my left is the shrine for some Africans. This was what some Africans believed in before these Europeans came and introduced Jesus Christ to us. The stone you see with blood all around, it used to form part of the entire rock on which the castle was built. But after our people gave the land out, these Europeans stopped the natives from worshiping here. Another reason for the stoppage of the worship was the Jesus factor, that God is to be worshipped through Jesus Christ, that He's the way, the truth, and the life, that nobody ever get to the Father except through Him. The natives were so determined to worship the rock, so what they did was to carve pieces of the rock so they could take them outside before the castle was built. They carved these two pieces, took them from here. Okay, the pieces were brought back here after the end of the slave trade, and a shrine made for the pieces. There are people who still believe in the rock as their God, so they come here to worship. Any questions? Okay. Before with the tender exchange, the money we use, Africans were using shells, the cowries for, yeah.
Okay, this is the rock, right? This one.
Yeah, this very one.
So people still believe in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the alcohol is for the people.
Yeah, for offering libation. There's a priest here who performs rituals.
And then they'll take his own people to the land of no return.
No, at that time, this was not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Recordings are for you too. I'm recording for you. There are certain places you can voice. How?
Okay, the entire field was for burying white people. The only black man buried here was this guy, Philip Quirk. Philip was not a slave. Okay, his father was a supplier of captives. Yeah, because of his father's connection with the English, he was sponsored by the Anglican Church to England to study theology, came back 24 years old, became the first African Anglican priest. Yeah, he was buried here because of his service to the English. He was just called Quirk Wednesday born, but in England, the name Quirk was anglicized, changed from K to Kill, and given the Christian name Philip. 75 years old. She died. He died. Any questions?
But did he partake in slavery? Did he sell anyone?
No, he did not. He was just preaching to the white people.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is C.B. Whitehead. He was a soldier for the English. He died 38 years old. We are not so sure as to what killed this guy. In the middle, Leticia Elizabeth Landon, the wife of Captain George McLean, Yeah, George McLean was a governor in the castle. 46 years old. Malaria killed him. Yeah, his wife came to visit him, but 2 months upon arrival, she was found dead in the husband's bedroom. We have 3 schools of thought pointing out what killed this woman. The first school of thought holds that it was the same malaria. The second school of thought has it that when she came, she found George McLean together with an African mistress, and that out of jealousy, she poisoned herself and died. Yeah, the last argument is that it was George McLean together with the mistress who poisoned her so they could continue with their romance. 36, she stopped breathing. Any questions? She died. Okay.
Sorry. What?
Yeah, there's a well. They were storing rain to cook for the captives. Yeah, the slaves. Yeah, this was what both the slaves and the masters drank. Okay, but the masters' own went through treatment. They had to boil it, filter it before they could take it in. Yeah, but the slaves had to drink it without any treatment.
As a well.
For what? They drink it.
Yes, but the slaves used to filter it for the masters to drink, but they drank it like that.
Sorry, grandfather.
Yeah, could you close it for me?
This well was dug by the slaves.
Yeah, the people, the Africans built this castle, not knowing they would end up here. So, like building your own grave.
Oh, they built it.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of building it?
For slave trade.
There was slave trade in Africa before the slave masters came.
Yeah, but then it was not transatlantic slave trade. Africans, there was slavery everywhere. Okay.
Whoa! Are you guys hearing that?
There's slavery here, but then slavery in Africa was more human than what they say. It's more human than the transatlantic slave trade. This was built by the English, the Europeans, this castle. And needing people to build it, they had to employ the natives to work, not knowing that your people will end up here. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So we're seeing part of the underground passage. Yeah, this was not an exit, neither was this an entrance. It was just an observatory where the soldiers stood and watched the slaves move underground. In the last room where we saw the shrine, I said they had to pass through that tunnel, so they moved underground from that side, continued the journey to the door of no return. Nobody came outside and nobody went inside. The soldiers were just to stand here and watch them.
Now we can't go in.
No, there are no steps here.
Is that the room that no?
Yeah, the last room we saw. I saw there was
That place
an
that's
opening.
locked already.
Yes. So they moved from that spot. No, it's part of the.
The passage.
You just
I seen
monitor
it.
them to pass.
Yeah, to the door of no return. As they move to the door of no return. There are no steps, so watch out. If you fall, that'll be it.
Wow.
He will not come out again.
Yeah.
No, don't follow.
You want to have a look? Okay, come. Be careful. Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, I was scared when I went down there. When the lights were off, I was
Okay.
looking to see where you guys were. But with this, did they have any brave ones who were able to escape?
We're getting there. There must be people.
There were some. Okay.
She doesn't want trouble.
Are you seeing the castle? Sorry. Where's this one?
Sorry, talk about it.
Okay.
This was the end of the underground passage. Okay, the slaves here in chains and shackles had to walk through a small door. The door of no return was originally here. Okay, they blocked it because the sea was coming here, distracting the whole thing. They blocked this out, did not give up, made another door of no return. Is there any questions? Is there something you're not getting? You understand everything? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, this was a female slave, a female cell, sorry. To punish those slaves who said no to rape. If you resisted sexual abuse, you're brought here for 2 weeks maximum to be disciplined. If you were here for more than 2 weeks and you were still not given, they saw how stubborn you were. They had to break you. How did they do the break-in? They let you carry some of the cannonballs, the big ones. You carry more than one of the cannonballs, and you were to walk with the balls. As you walk with the balls, if any of the balls fell, that meant agreement to be raped. Meaning nobody escaped being raped because there's no way you can carry those balls and walk with them without any of them falling. Yeah. The only time a female slave could take a bath was when any of the white officials wanted to rape them. Women go through menstrual cycle. So imagine having your blood on you for a month or two without a bath. What will you do? You smell, right? Yeah. So whoever was going to rape you couldn't stand the smell. That's why they had to bath you, apply pomade on your skin, give you a nice clothes to wear, heavy food to eat before raping you. When that was done, you were not done with. You're brought back to the female slave dungeons. Any questions? There you go.
Stop recording. The videos will have issues because I'm filming all the videos. She can record her, but she don't comment.
Yeah, this was one of the female slave dungeons. This room could also hold 150 to 200.
Slaves.
Yeah. Because some of the women were raped, they got pregnant. If you found pregnant here, they took you outside where they built stone houses for you. You'll be taken care of by some English doctors and nurses. After giving birth, they give you a grace period of 3 months to breastfeed your kid. When that was over, the kid was taken away from the mother, and the mother brought back here to wait for the next shipment. If you were not fortunate to be found pregnant here, but you were found pregnant on the ship, they threw you overboard. The reason being that you're weak, being pregnant, you will need extra time. That was a burden they were not responsible to bear. So the best they could ever do was to get rid of you, together with a child in your womb.
So how was the ventilation like?
The only source of light air.
They get fresh air.
These the only things they had. See the door.
They left the evidence of using us as slaves.
So this is it, the final exit, door of no return. This was where he said goodbye to Africa, to your families and friends. Let's go. At that time, the sea was up to where the rocks are. Okay, they brought in small boats to get the Africans in small numbers, would then transfer them to the bigger ships on the deepest part of the ocean. There is another inscription on the door that counterattacks door of no return. This one reads door of return. Yeah, the very first time we had this was in August 1998. There was a festival called the Emancipation Day. At that time, two bones representing all the slaves taken to the New World were taken from their graves. These bones, dead bodies, were brought back here to Africa through the same route to the sea, to this very castle, through the same door then to the courtyard, where African traditional funeral was held for them. Okay, after that, the bones were reburied at a San Manso. Bringing these bones back to Africa symbolized the return of every enslaved African. Yeah, that's why we have door of return.
Wait, do you mean that after they take the slaves and then they die, they bring back their bones?
No. After slave trade, after everything was over, a festival called the Emancipation Day, two bones. Okay, two bones were brought back here. Okay. It was just a symbol. Yeah.
Okay.
She condemns it.